What's up, everybody? I thought today we would look at my top 10 favorite Black Series figures. So this is not going to be this is my number 1, number 2, number 3. This is just my top 10. I can't decide on any kind of favorite when it comes to anything. So first off, I thought we'd get started with looking at the bad boy himself, Darth Vader. This is the 40th anniversary Darth Vader. I had been waiting for a really long time for a good Darth Vader figure to come out. This one blew me away. There were so many little things that I would nitpick about other Vaders that I saw, when they'd have the chain around the neck, or this piece would be one solid hunk of plastic that's black jutting out. He might look too thick. He might stand at exactly 6 inches tall, and then the Luke would stand at exactly 6 inches tall. This guy is just under the 7-inch mark. So he definitely has that Dave Prowse statuesque kind of tall guy figure, but he's got the clenched hand, he's got the red lightsaber, and you can actually pop that out. It's just on a little peg, so you can have them with or without the saber. I love how they incorporated the plastic and the cloth goods. This is a really nice material. I have mine in an IKEA case, so it doesn't gather too much dust, but even when I took him out, there was some on his helmet, you could tell, but the cape still looks perfectly clean, so really like that about it. As far as the articulation, it's what you would expect from a Black Series figure, but they just nailed it on everything, in my opinion. I'll go ahead and pull up the next figure, just because I want to show at the same time kind of so you can see side by side. Darth Vader's bigger. And he's actually, Greedo's a pretty good sized toy. Or action figure. I was on the fence about putting him in my top 10, but looking at some of the others, I'm glad that they made him. I always hated him. I can remember I got started on Star Wars by, I'll tell everybody right now, I'm 34 years old, or about to be, and this guy was just always in the back of my mind, oh man, I'm so glad that they shot him. What a dick. Even as a kid, because I would go to my grandma's house, and it was a big deal to go stay the night out there, and I would give her a hug and a kiss, and then I'd immediately book it to her room and sit on the end table, one of those old end tables that has the cushion, or a hope chest or something. I would sit on that, just ball up in blankets and watch Star Wars. That's all I did all weekend, was just watch Star Wars. And but anyway, I never knew that I really wanted a figure as bad as I did until I started collecting, because I originally started collecting from the vintage 1977 to 1985 vintage series Star Wars. And so to have something as a monstrosity as that, I don't know if you've seen him, but he's the 3 3/4 inch, and he's just solid green. He's got different colors of green, but he's all green. He doesn't have the vest. He doesn't have his gun, the holster kind of Han Solo thing, but they even got the indentions in his hands. Obviously there's a nice wash over everything, so he definitely looks like he's a dirty, piece of shit scum, working for Jabba the Hutt kind of bad guy. They used a nice kind of blue on his eyes, because they're supposed to have the starry eyes, but then the texture of his head and the little spikes, little bumps everywhere. You can see his elongated fingers, and they even have the tarsals and metatarsals, the tendons and stuff showing in there. But then you come around to the holster, and it's a nice looking leather plastic. You got his gun, and then stick in his holster there. So very happy that they made this. Good looking figure. Don't you agree? Alrighty. Next up, this one this one blew my tits off when I first saw it. Once again, incorporating the cloth goods with the plastic, just nailed it. As you can tell, this is obviously a much different texture of fabric that comes with this one. It's a little bit more translucent, I guess, or you're able to see through it. It's a thinner material. It just hangs really well. It looks like what they had in the movies. You got the bandages kind of wrapped all around, because nobody knows what they look like. Going into that kind of what is that, raw sienna type color, into his breathing apparatus. You got the different kind of colors of the gold and the brown, and then the light brown down here, and then a nice wash. And I really especially like how they got the down there, you can see where all the sand and dirt would pick up. They have it dirtier. And then of course you got his bantha stick there, and I'm pretty sure that this one came with different interchangeable pieces. I'm pretty sure that this one did, but yeah, all around great figure. Alright, I know I've talked about this guy before, but he has to be in my top 10. This is the first one that they did with the face print technology, I believe. And this is Captain Rex. He's got the nice blonde hair with the texture. Kind of puffy texture. I don't know what you would call it. But then just your eye, everywhere you look, has a different detail about it. It's got the smooth, kind of rubbery plastic up here. He's got the scratches. He's got dirt. He's got all the little marks on his helmet for the number of kills that he's had. Get a close up. And then, yeah, you can really just see all the scuffs and marks. Usually I would go in and dirty them up myself, but no need on this. And then you can see he's got the white scratches into his armor there of his kills. And then down here, this is kind of a nylon type material, I guess. It feels like it anyway, but real thin, cloth goods, and that face print is just amazing. Look at that. That's crazy. Crazy! It's time to party! Oh, I think I missed a gun for old Greedo, but oh well. Boom! What's up, Akbar? It's a trap. Love how they articulated the his little mouth there. Yeah. And then of course the eyes, you got that nice marble kind of eyeball in there, so it's got a nice little sheen to it whenever you're posing it. Obviously in the light, you can pick up that little glint there. He's got his little patch or badge, insignia, whatever you want to call it. I like the articulation on this guy. I like how they have the different color browns for his jacket, the belt, and the boots, all different colors. So yeah, just any kind of a new mold. And then especially on the alien looking creatures of Star Wars, they nailed it each time. I mean, that paint job is just beautiful. There's no real definitive start and stop. It's a really nice fade. You got those little bumps on the side of his head, kind of look like pimples. What's up with that? Yeah, and then you got the little black things that jut out from his arms. Just a really interesting, really cool. Glad that they're making all these vintage things, nowadays instead of just the new movies. So we are living in the golden age of figures. Next up, Star Wars Clone Wars. Sabine Rin. Very excited to pick this little lady up. One of my favorite characters from that show. I didn't watch it until the 3rd season came out. I was a little behind on that. But as soon as I saw it, she definitely became one of my favorite characters. Love the controversy between her and her dad. I can... just the differences in opinions. They get along well enough, but I can relate to that somewhat. She comes with 2 guns, and she's got her little handheld device there. I can't remember what that's for, and the paint applications all the way around. You got the colorful boots, which she likes her color. If you've seen the TV show, she changes her hair color quite a bit. You got the checker pattern over there. No scratches, no paint smearing all the way around. Got the dragon. And then there's the back. And then of course she comes with her helmet. And that'll just pop right on. A little tight. But once you get it on, it's on, obviously. But she's just so pretty. You can't hide that. You can't hide that all day long. Alright. Next up, we got the Shore Trooper. I was reticent for quite some time about getting any kind of trooper because I knew once I did, it would open the floodgates to me just buying more and more and more. And that's exactly what happened. But hey, it's why I collect, is to have fun with it, make it look good. So this one of these, guys definitely filled my shelf up pretty quick. I think I have like 5 or 6 of these now, but look how awesome he is. You got the different variations of color all the way around. You got the real clean lines in some places, and you got like the kind of armored damage there, and on his face. I like how the plastic itself is kind of a beige color mixed in already, so it's not a wash over it. And then you got the nice texture in the pants. This actually is rubber. It's not a soft goods like you would think. But then it comes into here in the boots, and they could have easily made these look identical, but they took time to make each one its own wash, and I don't know. I really like that. I appreciate when they do stuff like that. And then of course the gun has kind of a metallic paint job up here and a duller gray over here. Just a really nice looking figure. And this was the other guy that I was on the fence about. So I actually did a little custom paint job on Liam Neeson's, and kind of made his characteristics in his face a little bit more predominant. So added some deeper reds and a little bit of a brown wash over it, so you can kind of tell by this hand and his face. But he's got the nice wash over his cloak, his tunic or whatever you call it. He's got his high boots on. He's got the double jointed knees. He's got his lightsaber, which, as you can see, he's got a little red button. It's got the nice clean metallic paint where it's supposed to be, and contrast that against the black. Looks really good. But I'm a huge Liam Neeson fan. I think he's awesome. So to have him in figure form as a Jedi, how can you not love this figure? I ask you. How can you not love it? Alright. Next up, we got the Boba Fett. He's sporting his cape back here with his cloth. It's frayed at the bottom, double jointed knees. He is super easy to stand because he's got those wide feet, and he's got his little blaster rifle there. He does have another gun, but I can't remember where I put it. But the details on this, everywhere you look, you're finding something new. Whether it's right in here in his arm, you got the little metal shit painted in there. I don't know what that's called. But yeah, just the different variations all over. You got the dent in the helmet, which I love that they did that. You got that. And then even on the back, look how detailed that is. Crazy! Look at the butt on that one. He must work out. And last but not least is the older Ahsoka Tano from Star Wars Clone Wars. She has the double lightsaber, both kind of that translucent clear plastic. I'm not sure if they were like that at the beginning. Maybe the sun actually wore them down or something, but I could have swore that they were different colors, but I don't think so. She's definitely one of my favorite characters from the Star Wars. Whoever was writing for her definitely nailed it on the cartoon. It was, I don't know, I got emotionally invested in that show, especially like at the end. I think I watched the whole last season when she was in it, like all the way through. I think it took me like 2 days maybe. But whenever, well, I don't want to spoil it. If you haven't watched it, go watch it. She'll definitely choke you up if you're invested in that show. But she does have the cloth goods mixed into her plastic, which I already like, and I like that they made her the older version when she comes back, and she's still got the spirit of a Jedi in her, and they did a really good job with the I don't know if this is hair or what you would call that, but her little Twi'lek kind of headdress thing. I don't know. The face, you can definitely tell that it's before the face print technology, so if they were able to go back and do something like that with her, whoo, man, take my money. I would love to spend money on that. I do have some runners up. I'm going to put 3 in here. So we got the original Han Solo from A New Hope. Got A New Hope Leia. So we can replace that disastrous monkey face Leia. And then yet another Leia. The Bosk, whatever you call it, this suit. She even comes with a little helmet. So that just pops right on her head. It is pretty tight, and I noticed that after a while the paint on her forehead's starting to rub away, so that kind of bothers me. But overall, all 3 of these are great figures. You can definitely see a size difference between these two when they're up next to each other. So yeah, they barely missed out, but they were more nostalgic than anything, so I think that's what was pulling me. The Han Solo, he was so close. I mean, I can't really pick a favorite when it comes to anything. I mean, I love figures. That's why I do this. That's why I make these videos, so I can take them out. I can play with them a little bit more and justify me spending all this money on it. So anyways, I know I kind of rambled on for a little bit, but I hope you enjoyed this little video of my top 10 favorite Black Series Star Wars figures. Everybody have a great day, and be good to one another out there. Bye-bye!